Now here we go. Now this is the part of the trailer that I specifically was happy to see. Did you guys catch everything that happened in this Gill clip? There's a lot you can miss. There's a lot of things going on here. There's 3 separate buffs happening in this clip. The first one is like blink and you miss it tier. Okay, so right at the start of the clip, you probably didn't catch it unless you were really paying attention. But I have to do this super slow. So we see it here. Fang is not on fire, and the V skill 1 is coming down. The V skill 1 is blocked, and now Fang is on fire and potentially risking a retribution. So already, massive buff of V skill 1. It applies status on block, which is a huge deal because retribution is everything for this character. That's already a big deal. V skill 1 is considered one of the worst V skills in the game right now, over the parry. That alone is a big buff because Gill's ways of inflicting the fire and ice status, right now they rely on landing V skill on hit, which is hard to do, or spending EX meter or spending V timer. Gill has no way in the current version of the patch to inflict the fire or the ice status without spending resources other than V skill 1, which is terrible in the first place and no one uses it. And there's two different things in this clip which are the antithesis of that design decision. So right off the bat, now you get status, the fire or the ice, just for blocking the V skill. And also right here, buff number 2, stand heavy kick on retribution puts you in a crumple state. Now, if you don't know what I mean by that, I'll jump back into the game real quick. So Gill's stand heavy kick is actually a good, it's a good button. It's got a nice hitbox to it. It's a decent poke in neutral. But one of the downsides of it is the fact that it's an ice move, and on retribution hit, if you hit someone who's on fire, it launches and it sends them flying away. You can convert off it if you're close, but in neutral, if you land like a spaced stand heavy kick on an opponent that's on fire, if you complete all of your tasks as Gill, right now, you see it launches, puts them in a spin state, and it's very hard to convert afterwards from this distance. You can go into Lariat if you want, but it does like shit damage. Up close, you do get dash crouch fierce, but you have to be pretty damn close to the point that like you would not be likely to land this. Wait, can you do that? Okay, you can't even. Okay, I don't think you can even do dash crouch fierce actually. It might just have to be like crouch fierce point blank. Yeah, I don't think you're even high enough for a dash crouch fierce here. Can you forward heavy kick? Yeah, so you can get some conversions here. Lariat is a bit too far, or forward heavy kick. A lot of the time you'd probably just do that. End the juggle with forward heavy kick. Or just go straight into Lariat. Because this is not a very easy thing to convert from. And so they've made it a crumple state, which is so plus on hit. The crumple is so plus that he gets dash crouch fierce grounded afterwards. And then he goes crouch fierce into high fireball into this. Oh my goodness. Can you hear the excitement in my voice? I'm a bit of a Gill fan. Those of you who've been watching the stream for a long time know that I played this character quite a lot, and then I dropped him because he was fucking dog water garbage. So I am quite happy to see Gill getting some love. So, you know how I was saying a minute ago about how Gill does not have good ways to inflict statuses meterless? Well, now he seems to have a charged version of Stand Fierce, the same as like Urian's Stand Fierce, which inflicts the fire status meterlessly. It seems to spike you into the ground so you can't get a juggle afterwards on air hit, but that is a humongous improvement. Being able to apply statuses without spending bar is sick. That is a huge buff. Because, no, it's not the fireball. Let me just jump back into the footage. If you watch it, I watched this slowly. This is the one I actually did go into detail on. So, let me just rewind this a little bit. So you can see there's no status here. How do I advance frame? Okay, there we go. So the fireball hits. They look like they're on fire, kind of, but this is just the normal fireball effect. But if you notice, when the charge fierce connects here, you can see that like flames start appearing on Fang's upper arms. I don't know if you guys can see that. That's the actual fire effect and not the fake fire effect with the just regular fireball inflicts. So the fire status, I don't know if you guys can see that, is the flames around his upper arms and not just turning orange. So turning orange, you can see that's not being on fire. That's pretend fire. The flame effect that appears here on Fang's arms, that is being put on fire. So what does this mean? What does this mean? Why should I care about being able to punch a man and set him on fire? This is a huge deal for Gill's pressure game, for his conversions. One of the things about Gill that makes his V-trigger decent is the fact that you have to take the throw. He is one of the most take the throw or you die characters in the entire game. For example, right now, let's pretend that this is the update and you've just been set on fire here. Pretend I did that meterlessly. If you don't take this throw right here, which by the way does significantly more than normal damage because of the burn, if you get shimmied here, you just get shredded. If there's V-trigger active, it's even more, and because you've got CA potentially, because you haven't spent meter in the first place, that is huge. So being able to threaten that is a big deal. Being able to threaten that much damage and forcing people to constantly take throws at the end of combos because they're scared of getting put on fire at the end of the next juggle, it's pretty cool. Hopefully he has a button that also inflicts ice. I don't know if that'll happen. Maybe you can charge heavy kick too to inflict ice. The other thing this has big implications for is his punish game. So if you block a DP, for example, actually I won't do it like that. If you block a DP, for example, something that's super unsafe, and you did charge fierce, that would apply the fire status, and then you could get a huge link afterwards. Assuming the charge fierce doesn't knock down, because we only see it used in an air juggler in the trailer, and it spikes, but it might not spike on ground hit. It might just work the same as his regular stand fierce. So in that scenario, imagine you block a DP. Right now, the DP punish looks something like this mid-screen. Like, this is the kind of thing you'll see most Gill players do if they blocked a mid-screen DP. Something like that, or possibly that. And if they want Oki, they'll just stop right here. Like, that's the end of the combo. Now, if we assume that Charge Fierce has the same properties as regular Fierce in terms of frame data, but it also applies this status, suddenly your combo potential gets quite a bit better. You can do nonsense like this. Like, he gets some big conversions, and you wouldn't have to spend any bar on them. So, like, look at that. So that would theoretically be 387 damage meterless, if it does work like how it seems to work. That is a big chunk of damage. You could tack CA on the end of that as well, because you haven't spent a bar already. I'm sure there's more optimal routes than that, but his punish game is it's already good, and it's gonna get better, which is pretty sick. I assume you have enough time to charge fierce on like a DP punish here. I mean, the corner carry, like, is wild. Like, if this situation comes out and you spend maybe like 1 bar on the punish to do something like this. Hang on. I don't know. If you could do something like that, and that would be a 1 bar combo in a perfect world. So that would be a 1-bar combo. It's currently a 2-bar combo because you have to spend bar to put them on fire in the first place, but that would become a 1-bar combo in the update. So I really like that change. I like the V-Skill 1 change. I like the stand heavy kick retribution change, and I like the fact that he now has a way to apply fire and hopefully ice as well without spending bar. So I'm definitely going to be paying some attention to the rest of the guild changes. Something to look forward to. Right.